How's it going, everyone? It's Artifact, and on today's little tutorial I've made a kind of UK roller sounding loop, and we're going to talk about one of the mid basses that I've made, and we're going to show you how I made it in Vital. So let's get straight into the loop. So pretty nice little loop, if you don't mind me saying so. I've included a lot of different things in this loop, especially some really cool sub-bass sound design stuff. One of my students was asking me about how you get this like really nice impactful low end, so I took a bit of time to try and come up with something to show him, and I appreciate I've had a few of you guys on here already who have gone on to do one-on-one sessions with me. Obviously, they're really like fun and friendly and not that expensive, so I highly recommend them for any of you if you feel like I can help you improve your sound some way. Definitely just message me anytime. But anyway, so I don't really want to share that exact technique because it was a bit specific for him. But this mid bass I've made today, these UK bombers, we're going to talk about these. So these kind of growly, resonant, metallic stabs. I think they sound really cool. So if we dive straight into the, I've got a lot of processing on as well, but we'll just talk about the fundamental Vital patch in this video. So let's go ahead and whack off all the effects. I've got quite a lot on here. Everything apart from the delay, EQ, and reverb, just so I remember. And again, we're going to go into like the sort of fundamental elements that make up the sound to begin with, and sort of talk about why we use those specific ones, and to create that full mid bass sound that has is operating on different parts of the frequency spectrum, and it's just hitting on all corners. So first thing we're going to go into is just the sine wave, because obviously we need that bass power from somewhere. Sine wave is always perfect for that. And you can hear there's like a pitch drop on it. So what I've done here with envelope 3, I've just mapped it to the matrix here, all the way at the bottom, this voice transpose mode. Just turn it up a bit, change the shape a little bit here as well, and mapping that to envelope 3, make sure the attack is all the way down, and then just play with the decay and the curve, and you can get a kind of nice little pitch drop. It's also happening on an LFO here as well, but I just wanted to exaggerate the effect, so I put on another one, just extra pitch dropping, so we have that impact at the start of the hit. Then, as standard, we frequency modulate something from oscillator 2 into oscillator 1 to create some extra overtones and harmonics, and in this case, we are using this kind of, also a sine wave, but it's just been synced, so that kind of just changes like the sort of harmonic content, I suppose. And this smear option has also, if I turn off the sync, it's just a sine wave, right? But with it back on, it sort of changes the waveform. And then again with this smear, we track that to an LFO, and that creates this like extra distortion, which we can control by this main LFO that's going on here, which is the LFO 4, and it's just a sort of short up and down, like a wub wub, and that's going on a lot of things like the frequency modulation amount, the smear, even the sync, all these little options, so they're all moving, so we have a nice natural movement going on in the sound already. And then to get things a bit more interesting and get that like really growly UK character and stuff, I've gone for the Drink the Juice wave table, which I really like, which just sounds cool. And you can hear we start to get a really interesting character now by adding this. And essentially what we've just done is we've pitched this up again a little bit, so we have the sub is just at 0, like it's the low part, and then we have these two extra oscillators that are 1 octave higher, so we can get those high end interesting harmonics. And to make this one a bit more special and interesting, turned on the unison just to give it some width, and the vocoder setting really gets you to shape the exact character of the sound. So if I just remember, I've got it on 40 here, and we'll just play around with it for a minute. So something like the vocoder would be really cool. You could like set up a instance like this, how you like it, as your sort of main sound, and then like say later on in the track you wanted to change the sound of the bass so that it like progresses over time. You could use the vocoder, for example, and like go up a little bit or go down a bit to create like a new version that's very similar to the original bass, but it does change the character in quite a nice different way. So we go back to that. And one more thing we've done here is the ring modulation sample tingy-majiggy, which is being just... I want to swear, but I feel like I can't on YouTube because there might be kids watching. I don't know. But do kids swear? I don't know. White noise, ring modulated with ring modulated... Yeah, you know what I mean. Where you can go up and get a really like... start getting into that territory if you want. It's up to you. But I just wanted a bit of that white noise character, and I've mapped that ring modulation amount to the LFO as well, so we've got that white noise hit at the beginning, and it kind of adds that extra impact. A couple of filters, all they're doing is just filtering stuff. Do you know what I mean? Don't need to get into too much detail, just drive it up, play around with it. Do you know what I mean? Interesting stuff now. Effects. Chorus, just a little bit of width, bit of warmth, you know what I mean? Distortion, really smash it hard. Hard clipping is sometimes cool, soft clipping is sometimes cool. Try them both on each sound, see which one fits for that one. I like the hard clip on this. I prefer leaving the mix at 100 and then just choosing how much I drive it. Some people like to just mix it in. I'm not one of those. Compressor. Does it make it better or not? Yeah. Kind of blends everything together a bit. And I like to use it, you know, sparingly, so I automate the mix on the LFO. Too much here. I've got like this kind of high-end crunchy character from my compressor settings, and so what I'm doing is I'm just introducing some extra high-end crunch to the overall sound by using that particular setting and then mixing it in on the LFO. Maybe I want a bit more, or a bit less. Something like that. It's cool. Filter. This is quite cool. Comb filter, right? Turn it all the way up. Got that kind of really metallic sound, right? Just using it to kind of mix it in. And again, it's tracked to the LFO, so it's like it's sort of a hit, like a sort of combed filter hit that's going along with the bass. Pretty interesting. We don't need delay, don't need EQ. And then I've just got flanger and phaser, which are very, very slight little settings to add a bit of more movement within the sound, just to give it an extra further step of naturalness, so it's not like a static synth in your face. Obviously, similar thing with the phaser. Obviously, you can go overboard with it. Maybe I want a bit less phasing, actually. Playing again with the mix of the effects on the LFO. Obviously, like the more you use, it's going to start to phase and flange into some kind of giant sponge. So unless you want to have a sponge bath of sound, then don't do that and just use a little bit just to get a bit of more natural stuff. And yeah, find that nice balance. So you still got the impact and the punch, but you're like modulating the frequencies so that they're not so like synthetic and stuck and rigid, you know. So get a nice balance, and then that's basically the patch. Again, preset on my Patreon, super cheap if you ever want to join. Really appreciate that. And also, I probably will do a tutorial on how I've done all the processing afterwards to create like the whole, because it's like, it's not just that one synth, it's then resampled and stuff. And yeah, those kind of techniques are probably save for the elite squad, so definitely check that out. And yeah, let's have one last listen to the overall loop. let me know as well if you think the track is cool, or if you like the vibe. If you think I should actually produce it and like finish the track and stuff. I could maybe do a live stream for free or something where I go over how I would like flesh out the track. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. And if enough of you comment saying that you like this loop a lot and you want like to see how I would make it into a track, then if I get enough feedback from you guys, then I can probably go on to do that for you as well. So have a wicked day anyway, and much love.